Strange World. It's the biggest Disney movie you've never heard of, and it's in theaters right now. So why is the movie bombing? And what lessons can the Mouse House learn from its failure? Before you can work out what went wrong with Strange World, it's worth looking at another major animated release that came out this year, Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Alright, not Minnie. Please stop calling me that.
Box Office Mojo reports that the Despicable Me spin-off grossed over $369 million domestically and $937.8 million worldwide. Not only was this a big box office haul, but it also proved to be hugely profitable for Illumination because of its $80 million budget. Strange World cost $180 million to make, meaning it is currently the 10th most expensive animated film of all time. In fact, it is currently tied with WALL-E for that spot. A huge number of Disney and Pixar animated releases starting from 2010 have had similar budgets. Tangled and 2019's Lion King remake cost around $260 million each to produce, while movies with budgets of $200 million or above include Cars 2, the last two Toy Story films, and Lightyear, which also performed below expectations this year. Not only are movies in general costing more to produce, but Disney and Pixar are seemingly increasing the budgets of their movies above the industry's current standard. All of this is important for one simple reason. The higher the budget, the more difficult it will be for these movies to turn a profit.
It's so cute! I want to merchandise it.
Normally, it wouldn't be hard for Disney movies to make money, even with larger-than-expected budgets. However, the mega-corporation has not been immune to the effects of this year's low box office turnout. While hits like Top Gun: Maverick helped give theaters a much-needed shot in the arm, the subsequent months have not been quite as successful in bringing people back to the big screen. Part of this likely has to do with the increased prevalence of streaming services, including Disney+. The service has successfully provided a one-stop shop for the company's large portfolio. However, it has also seen its fair share of controversy due to the alleged theatrical sidelining of animated films. Some criticize the move to release Pixar's Turning Red as a Disney Plus exclusive, despite massive critical acclaim and high viewership numbers. And 2021 saw two major releases, Luca and Soul, relegated to the platform. An anonymous Pixar staffer revealed at the time, "We don't want to be a title just on Disney Plus. These movies are crafted for the big screen. We want you to watch these movies with no distractions, no looking at your phones." While these decisions certainly contributed to the poor performance of Strange World at the box office, arguably the most obvious factor was the film's marketing campaign. Despite ads for the movie playing frequently during sports events, like the 2022 FIFA World Cup, it feels like the marketing campaign hasn't been nearly as prevalent as those enjoyed by other Disney projects in the past. To make matters worse, the marketing that was released for the film had a hard time explaining what it was even about. While the promos for the movie focused on the stunning animated visuals, it was hard to gauge what the story of Strange World actually was. Puzzling out the movie's premise took additional research, and as a result, many potential viewers were left in the dark. It's hard to sell a movie if you can't properly convey what it's about.
Dad? Dad?
This issue could be indicative of a larger marketing problem at Disney too. If you recall the lead-up to Lightyear, it was emphasized that the film was actually supposed to be a movie in the Toy Story universe, something that wasn't made clear upon its initial announcement. It's likely that the company is currently relying too much on its name alone to sell its films, a tactic that has never worked out for them in the past. Need an example? Just ask anyone what happened with Treasure Planet.
You're just like me, Jimbo. You hates to lose.
It's hard not to attribute this bomb to a recent high-profile firing conducted by Disney. Last week, Bob Chapek was terminated from his position as CEO. He was replaced by his predecessor, Bob Iger. The firing came down to a staggering loss of money, attributed to the decisions Chapek had seen during his brief time in the position. Disney Plus is among the victims of these lost profits, as the streamer has allegedly lost nearly $1.5 billion and is struggling to become profitable. With this in mind, it might explain why Strange World was given a coveted theatrical release. Considering how much money it cost to make the movie, it may have been easier for Disney to just release it in theaters so they can attempt to recoup costs. According to Deadline, post-Chapek Disney could be looking to make a clearer picture of what gets sent to theaters and what is released on Disney+. Higher budget releases might head to theaters, while mid-budget fare could hit Disney+. If we're being realistic, though, Chapek was almost certainly not responsible for all of the weird decisions made surrounding the release of Strange World. Rather, it was a company-wide effort that ultimately failed. However, you also can't deny that these decisions were overseen and approved by the embattled executive. And the company's decision to oust him days before the film's release can't be a coincidence. It's hard to imagine that the box office performance of Strange World will significantly affect Disney from a financial standpoint. However, it will likely serve as a major wake-up call for the company. You can't have a lackadaisical approach to promoting your projects, especially when they have budgets of $180 million or higher. It's also more important for the company to create a better idea of their release schedules and consider reining in the ballooning budgets of their animated movies. And while you might point a finger at one particular aspect of Strange World that led to its failure, things in the entertainment industry are rarely that straightforward, especially for a company as influential as Disney. It's certainly sad to see the work of hundreds of people fail to turn a profit, but here's hoping the mishandling of Strange World is the motivation the company needs to get back on track.